Today we're going to be going over everything you need to know before Manchester United's USA tour. Quickly starting off with a Ghanaian elephant in the room, Andre Onana. Onana is still not available for selection, but he has been taken on the American tour, as seen recently with national teammate Mbeumo giggling on the plane to the USA. Although his United future is still very much in the balance, David Ornstein, the Oracle, has staked the claim that if a goalkeeper is acquired by Manchester United, it does not necessarily mean Onana will depart. His recovery is said to be going well, as reported by Robert Dawson of ESPN, but whether Amorim wants him to be available so he can ship him off or integrate him back into the squad is yet to be seen. But with a new youthful goalkeeper in Le Mans rather than an older, more competitive keeper in Martinez, said to be keen on joining Manchester United, it looks as though Onana is here to stay. Speaking of availability and fitness, something we need to talk about is the shape that the current squad is in. Now, these aren't the most reliable pictures because of angles, lighting, etc., but there's no doubt that the squad as a whole is looking a lot healthier. And there's also no doubt in my mind that this is because of the training regime that Amorim has put forward for the players. The players aren't allowed to hide from the fact that we're one of the worst performing sides in terms of fitness in the league anymore. Amorim has come in and addressed it the first chance he got, as reported by Sam C. Every Manchester United player, first team and selected youth who have a chance of making a debut next season were handed a personalised conditioning programme over the break. Not unusual, but Ruben Amorim and his staff were meticulous with it this time. Tailored plans all about injury prevention and making sure they came back sharp and ready to hit the ground running. However, despite all United players getting a training plan, something tells me not all players will reap the rewards of that plan in a United shirt at least. It's been the worst kept secret in world football that Manchester United are looking to move players on from the now known bomb squad. Nope, we're not talking about Deontay Wilder, we're talking about Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, Antony, and Tyrell Malacia. Obviously Rashford would have been included, but he's now off to Barcelona to clean Rafinha's boots. Even though we all know Amorim wants to move these players on, he has given them a glimmer of light, should they not be able to find another club in time for the right price. Here's what he's had to say. If they reach a point where they have to join the team, they will join the team because they are our players. If the club doesn't get the right price, they will stay. I am ready to receive the players. For the latest Honestly Biased Sports updates, feel free to follow the Old Truthford Instagram page. Now, back to the video. Two players who aren't in Amorim's bad books are new recruits Mbeumo and Cunha, who have been a breath of fresh air, as reported by Samuel Luckhurst. Manchester United sources say that early impressions of Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo have been positive. The pair have been described as good characters who are fitting in well and have injected new energy into the squad. And Lord knows that we needed some fresh energy into the squad after all of the players last season were scarred following the Europa League final defeat. Yep, that one still hurts. One thing Cunha hasn't freshened up is his GPS vest, for which he needed Bruno Fernandes to step in and help him. But what are captains for? Amorim has been quick to compliment the new United recruits also, highlighting their humbleness. They are really humble, that is really important. They had other options, they read what people say about our club, but they chose to be here, and this is a key point for me. Now, obviously, you could question his words here and say these two aren't above us, so they can't be considered humble to come to Manchester United, the greatest team to have ever played the beautiful game. But, on the other hand, we were on the verge of relegation last season and lost a cup final to Spurs of all people. So maybe he's got a point. In terms of further new additions, Ruben Amorim has come out publicly and declared he is content with how the squad is shaping up and nothing imminent is expected on the striker front, stating it's better to be safe than sorry. We need to be really careful when we sign players. If we start the season with this squad, I am happy. Does this mean we won't sign any more players? I highly doubt it, but that's not the point. Amorim is sending the signals to us as fans, but we can't rush signings. That's where we failed previously under so many managers. Look at Alexis Sanchez, Donny van der Beek, Anthony, if you want to know why we shouldn't just rush into signing players. Now, can you make an argument for Ineos maybe being a bit too gun-shy in the transfer market? Yes, you can. When we see every side who finished well above us signing multiple players in the time it's taken us to get Mbeumo over the line, it's quite worrying. But this is where we find out if there was a method to the madness. In terms of team news for the big game, Harry Maguire has rejoined the squad after a family emergency. Meant he had to leave the team just before the US tour, which is good to hear. Maguire now taking on quite a senior role within the squad. It's good to have him. This is the squad travelling to America for the next 3 games against West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton. Goalkeepers, Altay Bayindir, Tom Heaton, Dermot Mee, Will Murdoch, Andre Onana. Defenders, Diogo Dalot, Matthijs de Ligt, Patrick Dorgu, Tyler Fredrickson, Aiden Heaven, Diego Leon, Lissandro Martinez, Nusayr Mazraoui, Monroe, Luke Shaw, Lenny Yoro. Midfielders, Casemiro, Collier, Fernandez, Fletcher, Kone, Mainu, Mount, Ugarte. That midfield really is looking bare right now. Forwards, Ahmad, Cunha, Hoyland, Bendito Mantato, Mbeumo, Obi, Williams, Zirkzee. One interesting thing to note, no games against big teams this pre-season, which for United is quite interesting given we usually have at least one in there. Is that a sign of the times? Everyone will be expecting to see more from this game against West Ham, especially given how lackluster the performance was against Leeds. I didn't get a chance to make a reaction video to the Leeds game, but what I will say is that we did look more solid defensively. Against West Ham, I'm expecting to see a more open, attacking performance, maybe a 2-0 victory. I just pray this game coming up is not as boring as that Leeds game was. Manchester United v West Ham in New Jersey, 12 AM British summertime on Sunday. I'll be doing a live stream to see how we get on. If you want to have a chat about anything United, come say hello. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe with the bell notification on if you're new, and don't forget to drop a comment on how you think we'll get on in the US of A. But until then, Godspeed.